Well, hello, and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
First time you did the fade? I don't remember seeing the fade before like that.
It's because you don't pay
new?
attention. No.
I guess I don't. Like, oh, we're fading in. That's impressive. Hold on. Before we get started, though, let me go ahead and pop open. Because you have a drink, right?
I do. Well, not a drink. I have something to, a beverage to consume. People think. Okay, let's talk about this liquid death thing, Francis. First of all,
well, we did talk about it.
I forgot to hit my sound bite, so I'm hitting it anyway, with no context to it. But liquid death. Okay, what the fuck? What kind of marketing have we gotten to where we have to market a can of water or tea with not a lot of sugar in it? Surprisingly.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay.
So
I'm converted.
So last week. Was it last week? Yeah, it was sometime last week.
We did talk about
we talked about how, I don't know if we actually talked about it on air, if we just talked about it, you and I, but the Arizona iced tea, regardless of which one you get, has about 100 and plus % of your daily sugar intake. And liquid deaths have 6 grams, I think.
6 grams, 12% in a full can.
Okay.
12% of your sugar. This is peach tea, by the way.
Okay.
Peach tea. With the little skull. Look at the skull.
Right. That's what I'm saying,
skull.
though. So this whole, because I'm actually naive and not very smart. This whole time that liquid death has been out, I thought it was an alcoholic beverage. So it was very concerning to me the other day when my coworker sits there and goes, well, I've got me something to drink, pull something out of his backpack and look over, it says liquid death. Me thinking it's an alcoholic beverage, going, you really sure you should be drinking that here, man? And he's like, yeah, why the fuck not? Like, because isn't that shit alcoholic? And he's like, what are you, fucking stupid? And I'm like, yes, that's why I'm asking. So having never looked, I'd never even, when you're at the grocery store and you're going up the specialty beverage aisle where those are I imagine would be found. I've never looked because I just never looked for them. Figured they were all in the alcoholic beverage aisles. I just don't understand the company name marketing to market water and tea. Call it liquid death. That just doesn't.
Because it kills your thirst. It murders your thirst. That's their logo. Their slogan. Here you go. I'm gonna read the slogan to you and tell me what you think.
I will definitely let you know what I think.
This psychotic can of iced tea will use agave and B vitamins to savagely murder your thirst, and turn its eyes into balloon animals to book gigs at children's birthday parties.
Okay, so the first 2 sentences were okay, I'm on board with your thing. Then you just lost me after that. It was like they just fucking took a big rip of fentanyl and just decided to keep writing the fucking slogan.
It's kind of like Monster. Monster has like that weird kind of, like, if you read the fine print.
Sure.
But they also have, apparently this drink will donate a portion of the profits from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution. So they're like even altruistic in their thing. And this has 30 milligrams of caffeine. So I'm getting myself a little bit of a caffeine, but 30 milligrams not that much, but it's something, right? It's something.
Sure.
So I'm kind of in. I'm all for it. I got an 8-pack, and I just want to show you the box they came in. I've been drinking it all week, but this is the box. This is the box that it comes in.
Oh wow.
In this like death box, right? And it says liquid death in the front, but like it's a death box. Like they really go all out. I'm converted. I know
Now,
people are kind of joking around about this thing, but I'm converted.
now that I know that it's a tasty beverage and not an alcoholic beverage, maybe I'll give it a shot sometime because, I'm weird about grocery shopping, Francis. I only go to the store when I want to make something and I get the things, the ingredients to make that one thing, and then I go home.
Right. Sure.
I don't do this whole like shop for the week thing. I don't know what the fuck I want on a Thursday on a Sunday morning. The hell?
Well, it's convenient for you because it's across like you don't have to go that far.
Even when I did,
some of us have to go a distance. Oh, really?
Even when I did, as soon as I've been able to live alone, my refrigerator is empty. It has condiments and like some soda maybe, but that's about it. And then when I'm gonna make fucking tacos, then when I come home from the store, there's things to make tacos that are inside the fridge.
I understand. I get where you're coming from.
I just don't buy a week's worth of food because I don't know what I want. And I don't do that food prep thing. I don't know. Like
I go to Costco, man, so like I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I enjoy their gas.
Their gas is yes, their gas is amazing. Yes.
Their lines for the gas suck, but the gas is great.
Okay. I mean, sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just when I got my Costco membership, the lady, she's like, "Well, how much do you spend a week?" I was like, "In groceries, not much."
Not much, yeah.
I was like, "I'm a bachelor, lady. I could get in and out of the store for like $25 if I try really, really hard and want to eat really boring all week." She's like, "There's no way you can come out of here under $100." And I was like, "I'll take that challenge. I'm going to come back to you specifically with my receipt."
Yeah. I buy like, but I get like
Hey, Push. Happy Friday to you as well.
Hey, Push. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great Friday night. Talking about Costco got to Costco. I buy clothes. I buy a bunch of stuff from there. I do. I buy a lot of stuff.
There's a grocery store across the street and there's a Costco across the street, the other street. So I should really just go there and get some pizza sometime.
From Costco?
Yeah, they got great pizza.
It's cheap. Yeah, it's super cheap. Yeah. They're just like Arizona. They refuse to up the price of their hot dogs and soda. $1.50.
How were the debates?
Oh, Push.
It's
Push. You're funny.
It's something. The debates. I'll say this because I don't watch that kind of shit. I'm completely uninterested. I'm the worst American ever. I tuned in for about
90%,
10 seconds, and I saw the look on both of their faces while somebody was asking them a question, and I turned it off, and I decided that we're fucked.
Well, a lot of people came with that same conclusion, so
I have no political stand on either side of the fucking fence. I really, yeah. I'm.
All I know.
I voted for the first time 2 fucking votes ago. I'm 46 years old.
Yeah, I've been voting since I was 17. I voted every year.
Yeah, I've had no.
I don't know how good it was, my voting, but I voted since.
I mean, is there? Do you get graded on your voting? I wish you would. Actually, that'd be awesome. Nobody knows. I know, but I wish you would.
Nobody knows how you vote.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. When I first started doing it, I voted for like because you have to. They give you like propositions and they give you like all these things and I don't know what they were, but I did vote to legalize weed in California. So I'm like, I know that much. Check. Like I knew I wanted that to be legal, even though I don't partake. It's like good, do it. Um, but yeah, I voted when I think I voted Schwarzenegger when he was running for governor.
When I was first
Good or
eligible,
bad.
back when I was 18 to vote, my mom asked me when she came home, she's like, "Did you vote?" I was like, "Yeah, yep, sure did, totally did." She goes, "Well, what'd you go do?" I was like, "Well, I went into a booth, I shut the curtain behind me, and I just started pulling levers." And she knew right away I was full of shit. She's like, "We haven't pulled levers in a voting booth since like the 60s." And I was like, "Oh, this was all a fucking old place I went to."
I want it to be. Oh man, how cool! Like it feels so important. If you put the card through the thing, you had to pull the lever to like, mark your vote. Oh, which guy do you want? This guy. Pull lever. Yeah.
Especially with like a big ratcheting lever.
One that makes a noise.
Yeah. And each one
Has
made
to
a
make a
different
loud
noise so everybody knew what you were
No,
voting.
because no.
They come out and you're like, "Oh, you fucking dick. I don't want to be your neighbor anymore."
Oh, man. Well, during the era of the poll vote, nobody cared. We care now for some reason, but back in the day, 10 years ago, or no, even longer than that. No, I guess 15 years ago, we didn't care. Like, you vote who cares? Vote for whoever you want. I mean, I didn't know that California was a Republican state for like years.
Which is weird,
like, oh.
being it was the progressive weed state since like the 90s.
Yeah, that's when it changed, I think, is in the 90s. But yeah. So I saw the whole thing. It made me sad. But one was definitely more there than the other, sadly. But that was interesting to see.
Yeah, we don't really talk about the politics here.
No.
But
I mean, it was a big deal.
It was a thing. It was, I mean, fucking YouTube had a channel dedicated to it, like a live feed of it. So I imagine terrestrial TV, it was on every channel available.
Yeah, it was simulcast. It was simulcast a bunch of places.
Yeah, I watched wrestling.
Good. I ended up playing. I played.
Those are the kind of politics I enjoy. Wrestling politics.
Played Call of Duty after it was done. I played Call of Duty with my friends, with my friend and his wife. We spent the night just playing Call of Duty, already at that time wishing I had my cool, expensive, overpriced controller in my hand.
Well, how cool would it be, Francis? How cool would it be when you were a young lad and you had your own custom controller that you bring to a sleepover? How cool would that have been?
I feel like I get my ass kicked, wouldn't I?
Depending on how sturdy the controller was, you can fucking kick somebody's ass with it and then just keep gaming.
Right.
Use it like
they didn't have that stuff when we were like kids. They didn't have that kind of thing.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Did you do a lot of sleepovers as kids? As a kid?
Yeah, through high school. I did sleepovers through high school. And then, yeah, it was through high school, definitely. I had some friends over, or we would have all night gaming sessions. Often it was Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition. Just play all night. Listening to CDs of Ace of Base and like.
Hey.
It's the 90s. What do you want from me? It's the 90s.
I mean, there is no more of a 90s band than Ace of Base, but,
Yeah. I know
who
that,
knew we were listening to neo-Nazis the whole time?
What were they?
The leader of Ace of Base is a fucking, like, outed Nazi or something like that. Or
Is he really?
Yeah. You can Google it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna Google it up. I want to see what the controversy is, because they were just Euro trash. That's all they were. Was
They're
Euro, not Euro
definitely
trash, but like Euro.
yeah Euro tech Euro trash. It was there.
Oh, now I need to watch X-Men '97. Apparently, they play some Ace of Base on X-Men '97.
It
So there you go.
it's funny how like hyped I was at Comic-Con 4 years ago, whenever that was, when we sat down at that panel, and I was like, I can't wait for this. And now it's out. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's out that I haven't got around to. Just not into new shit right now, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was listening. I was reminded that I was listening to I forget what I was listening. There was like a Twitter thread about like music that you had to be there for. And do you remember Squirrel Nut Zipper?
Yeah. Fucking swing dancing. What do you call that fucking music?
Yeah.
Not ska. It's like ska lights.
It was swing. No
It
swing.
is
It was big band.
big
swing music,
band.
like
That's it.
yeah.
Big band. Big band.
Yeah.
Which
like
is, I
soup-
mean,
like
really ska, big band. It's all in the same family.
no. Okay, ska is only ska because they use like brass instruments, sort of sometimes, right? Like these brass instruments for their music. Big band is a gigantic cello and like big,
Yeah, I
the
suppose.
stand-up bass. Like they're really, trombone and all that stuff. Like it's a lot more
But
involved.
weren't the Squirrel Nut Zippers like a up tempo fucking swing band?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
just-
saying.
I-
It kind of just a lot of ska is up tempo. So
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But I was reminded of Squirrel Nut Zipper and Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
mm-hmm. I think was the more popular of the two.
Yeah.
And
So
they both used that shitty fucking Elvis era microphone.
You couldn't hear like the background singers because they all gathered around one microphone instead
Yeah.
of like having their own mics. They'd all gather around one.
Let's gather around one shitty mic instead of all of us having fucking good mics. I know that
Yeah.
it probably had updated internals. I'm just saying, like the outside of it was that 50s big honking metal. You know what I'm talking about.
And they have like the Edison fuses in them.
Yeah,
like,
tubes and shit.
tubes, yeah. Tube mics. They had tube. I'd be. Oh, you know what? Next mic is gonna be I wanted it to be a
The
tube.
tube mic.
I don't know if that exists, if that even is a thing, but
I mean, you can get
Might
you could probably get like a tube amp for your mic.
they exist.
They
Tube
do.
Microphones exist. Yeah.
They do.
But they're all condenser mics. Which
Ah.
means that it's gonna pick up background noise.
You need a booth if you're gonna go with that.
Yeah, if I'm gonna do a tube mic, I have to do a booth. But oh man, it's gonna have that really like very natural, but very like it'll pick up every pop from my lips.
Mhm.
Even if I had a filter, it's just gonna pick up everything.
But if you're in a booth, it would take care of some of that as well, though.
I don't want them anymore.
Okay.
$2,000
Well, I know. Oh, look, neither one of us can afford the $400 mic we want, so
True. Are we still looking at the SBs? Is that why? Are we still looking at SB mics?
I mean, that's
Shure
the
mics?
that's the
That's the standard.
yeah, that's the pinnacle, the mic there. We're on the beginner mics. We're not. These aren't beginner mics by any means, but I'm just saying, like, we're you got to have the best stuff, man.
Well,
It went
people
from
don't do
the covet your neighbor's shit to like, coveting what the internet has to offer.
Well, I know what my look. Here it is. I'm gonna put it on my wish list. the Telefunken ELAM 251E large diaphragm tube condenser microphone for $12,000.
Oh my God. Get your Patreon started now at
Just for the mic. It comes with a case. And
okay, but
like a boot.
does it come with an arm? Does it come with a little child to cradle it while you strap the baby to the arm or something?
Well, it comes with a suitcase, a locking suitcase from like the 50s, a lunch pile style power supply. So the power supply is this big.
Jesus.
It's like huge.
Well, it has to be if it's tubed.
Wooden microphone box. And then the diaphragm for this thing.
Yeah.
This thing. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
$12,000.
That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my wish list. I'll put it public for anyone who wants to get this thing.
Yeah, if anybody's just, wanting to be generous.
It's not on Amazon, so you're gonna have to get it through Sweetwater. Sorry, guys.
My Sweetwater sales rep has since got fired or left. And I got some email from some new guy. And I had like I had a rapport with the other guy. We had we talked in the big email chain, just going back and forth, just checking in on each other. I just thought the guy was a fucking nice guy. I'm like, hey man, hope everything's well. I don't need anything, but hope you're doing okay. That sort of thing. And I sent an email to him asking something about equipment. And I got a return email from his boss that was like, he doesn't work here anymore. And some random rep emailed me like, hey man, like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
You're not my rep.
You're not Clive or whatever the other guy's name was.
Clive.
I couldn't think of anything. Yeah, you're just some random guy. No. That's not how this works.
Yeah, I don't like it when they, I mean, again, it makes sense. You can't work if you're a rep, you don't normally work at the same place forever.
Right. Yeah, no, I hope whatever the fucking dude's name is, I hope he went on to do cool things. But he helped me get the mic and the headphones and the Roadcaster thing, and yeah. He didn't really help me.
Anyway.
He just fucking said, I'm your rep now, and here's when this shit's shipping. Because I just said add to cart.
Look, I'm certain Sweetwater people, I'm guessing Sweetwater people, they work with commercial people, like guys who do this stuff, the kind of stuff we do commercially. So they're like, he's gonna buy more stuff eventually.
Yeah.
And you never bought more stuff. You've got fired because you refused to buy stuff. It's like, this guy you represent not buying anything from us. You're a terrible salesperson. You're fired.
Maybe that's how it went. Maybe. Yeah. So there's one check mark I could take off of there because I didn't really want to talk about that anyway.
Okay.
So I don't know what we're gonna talk about really this week. We're just gonna huck to it and see what happens. I just broke Francis.
Spit on that thing.
Oh man. So that has taken over the internet, and so I kept seeing the meme. I kept seeing the girl's picture. But having not seen or heard the video, didn't know what the fuss was about, what the ruckus was about. Until what?
Did you find the original video? I saw it when it first came out before it became a thing, and I thought it was stupid, and I moved on. I wish I saved the video because I haven't found the original video since.
I believe I did see the original video as far as I'm aware. At least it was retweeted or something. college kids and alcohol will forever be a source of entertainment for me.
Yes.
That's just all it comes down to. Just entertainment. It's great.
Well, okay, you have to explain.
Okay,
not everyone
for the uninitiated, from what I can remember of the video, it looked like somebody, random person, doing interviews in the streets of wherever the fuck, talking to drunk people on the street, and I don't know what the question was, so maybe I didn't see the original video because all I saw was a drunk girl saying you just gotta hawk to it and go to down on it or something to that effect. Talking about fellatio and spitting on a dude's dick.
So the question was, how do you keep a man? Well, so the first question was if she was single, and she replies with somebody's name or probably some celebrity or something. It's like, I'm single, but I'm waiting for you. And then he starts asking questions about like how to like keep a relationship good and stuff like that. One of the questions was like, how do you keep a man? And her reply was, Tuah, you spit on that thing. And that was her reply to that. And then she became popular.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure she did. She wasn't already.
She just like for a brief second, that woman who said the N-word, she became popular for a bit. Same thing with this woman, but for a completely different reason.
Sure.
She got popular for thing.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw a few weeks ago during the hockey playoffs, but maybe it was the finals. I'm not really sure. But there was a lady that pressed her boobies up against the glass.
He got a Playboy.
Yeah, she got a Playboy photo
It wasn't
shoot.
against the glass. She just lifted her shirt up, didn't she? It wasn't even against the glass, so she just lifted it up.
I thought she pressed him against the glass.
She might have, because there was one who did. I remember one who did, but I don't know if this was the same one. But she got a Playboy
Either way,
out of it.
Either way, she got a Playboy photo shoot out of it. Is that something to be proud of? I don't know. But, well, she got paid.
Can you imagine as a dude, though, we just whip it out and press it against something, and somebody's like, you know what we need? We need him in porn, or, like, whatever.
I mean...
like, you know, like, what is it? Guys can't get away with that, right? Like, because we have one naughty bit, while women have two. Technically, we have two. I guess we have our ass, too. And women have three then. But they have more to show off, right? Guys can't show off much. But a woman can show off whatever they want. Like, guys, everyone in the world is okay with women just, like, getting naked and being perfectly fine, showing off any bits they want on TV or in public. We're fine with that. We give Playboy deals to people like that. But come on, throw us the bone. Let us show off our dicks, and then you're like, yeah.
That's the thing, though. You give the opportunity. I don't think a lot of people would. I think if it was they just abolished, required clothing at downtown events or whatever, some sort of whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Okay.
Pick an event downtown. You just don't have to wear clothes. They're trying to make there's so many initiatives out there for like ladies being topless. Just not for an event, just going for a jog.
Well, California has free the nipple.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Free the nipple. Like whatever. I could be around naked boobies all day and not fucking feel like I need to go and grab something or call somebody my mama and suck on them or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but there are people that might want to do that. I don't know. We have to protect the children. What about the children?
Think of them.
Like, weren't you just breastfeeding your kid just a couple of years ago? Does he not know what a tit looks like?
No. Does not. I don't know. It's true. I understand where you're coming from.
I mean,
It
like,
can be
I'm
glorified
flip
by a
flopping
movie.
on both sides of things. Like, what, but I don't care.
Well, yeah, we're adults, so of course we don't care.
I mean,
We also don't have children, which is another reason why we don't care.
even if I did, I don't care.
I don't know. If I had a, I mean,
Well, I
maybe.
mean that I guess kids change things for a lot of people. So I can't speak out of school not having any children and say this is what I would and wouldn't do. So I don't have any.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. Like, it's easy to say yes because it's easy to say. But yeah, you're right. I guess yeah, our brains will change the moment we have kids, and we don't know what we don't know what to do with that. Yeah.
Don't plan on having any though. So
Well, I realize we don't live in those places. We don't go to college or whatever. But I would love to be approached by one of those guys or girls who like come up to you like, what do you think? Like, there's that one. I don't know if it's always rigged or if it's always like, if it's always the fake. But there's those girls that go around in like the skimpiest of outfits, and they go, rate me from 1 to 10. What do you
oh
think? And
yeah,
they'll spin
yeah,
around and
yeah.
post their boobies, and they're like. And so far, like every video I've seen is always the guy going like, "You're a 3, or you're a 0, or you're like." It's always very insulting, even though she's obviously attractive. But yeah, I would love to just like do one of those weird like interviews, answer questions.
I when I was a
for the-
teenager, and like way too high to be in public and too young to understand how to handle it. There's some random person that waltzed up on me and my friends with a video camera, and luckily one of my friends was really good at freestyling, so like he took the attention, but this guy got up all in our face with the camera. Hey, we know what's going on, and interview on the streets and weird angles and shit. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
That's weird.
And,
Experience it. You've been there.
yeah, I have. I was just,
Pre-internet, you were there.
yep. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
There were still commercials for the internet when this happened. Do you remember that, Francis?
Yeah, news stations were like really they didn't know what to do because they're like, what is this internet?
Yeah.
What does it do?
But I
And they
remember
gave,
there
like,
being, I think it was a Microsoft commercial where like there was a grandpa and a granddaughter in a house, and the granddaughter opens up the window, and it was like letting the world into the house, and all this information and entertainment and all this stuff was coming through the window, and it was an internet commercial, and I just thought, I was like, wow, looking back on it, it's crazy.
I mean, it was the information superhighway. It was
Yes.
the World Wide Web.
It was.
We didn't have a real idea of what we were doing with it, and it's cute.
It was a place to
It's cute.
it was a place to share Doom and Duke Nukem.
Yeah. Yeah. I only ever owned Duke Nukem with the hentai mods or whatever.
The electronics store that I worked at, I worked with a bunch of nerds, and we took the shareware Duke Nukem, and they manipulated a bunch of code and changed weapons into office weapons that we would have, in our retail area, like staples and pins and shit. Thought that was
Shareware.
pretty good. Like, how did you do that?
I love that no one knows what you're talking about. Like, the younger generation has no idea what shareware is.
Look, man, I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. So,
Shareware is though. I mean,
yeah, I
shareware
know,
is-
yeah.
yeah.
I miss shareware. Shareware was great. There was the AOL had the shareware. You had the Duke Nukem. The share. What else was shareware? Doom? No. Quake. I don't think Doom was share. Was Doom share?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Doom
Quake.
was a-
Quake was.
Quake was, but Doom wasn't. Even though Doom is on everything now.
I'm sure. And Doom runs on fucking calculators.
I remember it reminds me. I remember I bought this Star Trek game. I was a nerd even then. At like 11. Well, Star Trek came out when I was 7, so you shouldn't be surprised, I guess. I was watching Star Trek: The Next Generation when I was 7.
Make it so.
But it was but I was watching the original series. I played a game from the original series, and it took 12 floppy disks to install.
Oh my God.
And so I had to sit in front of the computer for an hour and a half.
Enjoyed every minute of it.
I did. We talked about defrag the other day, or we tweeted about defrag the other day,
Yes.
how much I love defrag. But it was and then there was a game disc. So it was an install discs, and then one game disc that you can use to play the game. And my computer was so old, even for it couldn't handle the game, but I played it anyway because it was kind of cool. Like, all right, I get to fly, get to shoot Klingon ships on on the bridge, and I get to, phaser guys if I didn't like them. And it just sitting there waiting for the thing to install, popping it out, putting the new disc in. No one will know this. No one will experience this. Forevermore, no one will ever experience this. It took like...
Unless people get into like retro
Wow.
gaming, retro PC gaming.
They just emulate, though. They don't even,
Yeah, it's
they don't
true.
even use like an old Commodore. They just emulate. They're just like, oh, I have an emulator. Here's that game.
I mean, I'm
They
kind
don't
of that
bother.
guy in a way because I have a Raspberry Pi with umpteen million games on it and about 3 billion different, game systems. So I can't really complain, or make fun of anybody, I should say, but
Do you use that? Do you even have it installed? Do you have it somewhere, or is
Yeah.
it just kind of like...
I mean, it's over here and, like in I still use this, but I need it out of the way, box.
Is it a board or is it in a box?
It's in a little custom box, yeah.
In a custom case? Okay.
And custom as in it's like, someone put all the bits in it for me because I don't know how to do all that shit.
Well, you're kind of like you're kind of a... I mean, not... You're a closet nerd in that respect, I think. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know how
mean-
many people like, oh, you have a Raspberry Pi? What the hell is that? Like,
Oh, I
that's
mentioned
not
it
a
to
common knowledge.
No, I bring it up to people and they're like, "Wait a second. What are you talking about? What is it called?" I'm like, it's called Raspberry Pi. You do anything you want with it. It's most commonly used for an emulator. Cuz apparently it's easy. I don't know because I couldn't even figure out how to Pirate Bay things. What do you call that? Torrent. So
Torrent.
I never got a torrent to work. That was a whole thing of pirating that I just did not understand.
I used to torrent Game of Thrones back in the day, and I got a letter from a carrier saying, "Stop it! You're illegally downloading a show." I'm like, how do you know? VPN, guys, VPN.
VPN. Here's the VPN commercial spot. No, not this week. Not last week either, because they don't know we exist.
I've been tempted. I hear it doesn't actually do anything, but I'm like, maybe I should just get a VPN. Like, just so I can watch TV and movies on Netflix
Sure.
or something. Yeah.
The Google. I have a Google phone, and they're like, the Googles will give you a VPN, and I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
Firefox does it too. If you have a Firefox browser, that's one of the things they sell is a VPN,
Okay.
and I'm like, okay.
I'm okay.
Thanks.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that one. Somehow.
Oh, you use that one?
No, I'm not saying I use it. I'm saying I'm okay with that somehow.
Oh yeah, because Google. No, I get why you wouldn't trust. I get it. I understand why you wouldn't trust Google.
Like I would, if I was going to go with a VPN, I would go with one of the ones that are out there that they have commercials for on podcasts and YouTube videos for.
Yeah. No,
Um,
this is the guy.
just because it's
Just-
it's third party, if you will.
Right.
I'm sure the Google VPN It's fucking great. Or it's Android VPN, whatever it is. I'm sure it's great. But I don't trust it because it's a Google thing. And, I love their phone, love their search engine, but, I don't need you being my VPN provider, because are you actually?
They are recording everything. All the porn you're watching, they're just writing it down.
Well, that's fine.
Paper.
I mean, then they can start suggesting the same kind of things that I'm into then. And then I don't have to go searching for so much.
Apparently Google's garbage now anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Let's go back to Netscape.
Yes. Let's go back to Netscape Navigator. Let's do that again.
It had the little nautical thing in the corner, when it was thinking.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. I like that one. Or like dog pile.
Well, those things still exist, I think. I think I went and looked it up the last time we talked about it. I'm like, oh, these places still exist. Like these websites still. I don't know if you could trust them, but they're still there. Like you still say dogpile.com and there it is. Like in all its. I wonder if this website still exists. I'm gonna look this up. It's terrible. I talked about this in high school. Teacher heard it, and was like, "What is that you're talking about?"
Which site was that?
Well, it's an old site called Sweet Links.
And
Sweet Links used to be a porn hub, like a porn aggregator. So it'd tell you where all the porn websites were. Like it aggregated where all the porn sites were. And I was telling a friend of mine this. The teacher overheard in my computer science class, of all things. Teacher overheard. He's like, "What is this website?" I'm like, "No, nothing. It's about candy or whatever." I don't know. I forgot what I made up. But
sure.
I'm like, Sweet Links is.
I mean, you were still kind of right.
Right. Yeah. A stripper named Candy. Yes, but no. So I had to hide my identity. Well, hide the website from people, but I did. Yeah, that was definitely a thing that existed. The good old days of the internet.
Where it was just all downloading porn one line at a time.
I wish I could remember what language I was learning. I forgot what. I was learning a programming language that was a little arrow, and the programming language was just to draw vector graphics, like little lines of graphics. I forgot what it was called. Anyway, not unimportant.
Once I learned that you can download things off the internet, all I wanted was Rosetta Stone, because I didn't want to pay for it, and I just kept looking for key cracks, and I would find keys, but then I'd also find viruses later.
Yeah, I got my computer destroyed with a virus. Totally. That's when I got smart. I'm like, oh, I don't use any antivirus software on my computers. You just have to be smart.
Yeah, well,
the thing is, you don't need it. You really don't. Like, Windows comes with one already. It comes with one that works fine, so you don't really need one. But yeah,
but
it's not like a challenge.
No,
this is such a challenge for somebody to. Oh, let's see if I can get into download a virus. I don't. That's the thing. I don't download anything unless I double, triple, quadruple check where it's coming.
Sure.
I don't download it.
There was I found some site that has ROMs, game ROMs, and I was like, oh, nice. But I'm not going to download anything from here quite yet. I'm going to do some research on the website, because it's got a lot of games. It's got a lot of games.
Apple, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure Android already does this, but Apple just recently got a couple of emulators for the phone that can now play old Nintendo games.
Yeah, I read about that.
Just got it. Yeah.
Read about that. A little jelly. Not very jelly, but a little jelly.
Does Android not have that? I would think it would.
I mean, I'm sure if you have like a cracked Android, not a carrier Android, like what's the word I'm looking for? Jailbroken phone.
Yeah.
You could probably get some badass emulators on there, but as far as a jailed phone, I think the only emulators out there you'd have to pay for. I don't think Android's is gonna hand us over the controller for a Super Nintendo on our phones.
Does anyone have the time to do that kind of stuff?
To play games like that on their
Like,
phones?
there's already a million games out there. Yeah, well, I mean, like, I understand wanting to play retro games. But my God, I don't have time to play the games I have now. Like, how does anyone have time to do anything? Like,
That's fair.
Just boggles my mind.
I downloaded something recently, something I wanted to check out. It came out a couple years ago. I was like, it's on the Game Pass. You know, I think it was like a game you play a shark, and you just eat people and attack people. I think that's all you do.
Oh,
I never got around to playing it. It sat in the menu there for like months, and I'm like, I'm never gonna play. It's been here this whole time. I've been playing everything else I have. I haven't. Just get rid of it. I've now got the DMCA for it, so I'll get around to it one day.
the DMCA.
Whatever like I have the digital ownership of it or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I forget. I now can't think of it because all I can think of DMCA. Because DMCA is the people who tell you that that the thing is copyrighted. The DMCA is the one who gives you the cease and desist and tells you not to use something. That's
Gotcha.
the DMCA.
The update on that though, on this whole theme song thing and me buying the rights. The last video we put out, no copyright strike on it, so we're all good now.
Yeah, maybe the guy was like, oh, he's just like, I want to find random, YouTubers that do this. And you're like, here's the one for the week. This guy, click.
4 weeks in a row.
Did he do 4 weeks in a row? Really?
Yeah. I looked at it. It's like, you're not shadow banned or anything like that. It's just, you can't make any money off of this video. I'm like, well, I'm not making any money anyway.
To say, how much does it really hurt right now?
It doesn't hurt a damn thing. But you know what? I don't like seeing that on the menu when I pull up or upload a new video. So we're just $20 or whatever it was with the fucking US to pound conversion, but I didn't pay that much for it, so whatever. It's fine.
You should have done what Speak Geek to Me did.
Which was?
They used a bunch of sound clips together into a song.
True.
I mean, the backdrop was a song, but the sound clips there were so many of them. You really didn't notice the song. That probably like fakes out the algorithm.
Right.
Like copywritten music. It's like, well, that's Darth Vader talking, or that's Ferris Bueller talking. Like, who cares? That's from we don't care about movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Twitch, that's why I love it. That's what I love about Twitch. Twitch is cool with it. Twitch doesn't care.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Twitch tells you what the song is. Like, hey, you play music on here, we'll give you the player so you can play
Twitch,
the song.
actually, they just did, or they're getting ready to launch a DJ channel, like Wing or whatever, to their thing. So like you can't get copyright stricken for playing music.
Good.
I'm like, well, that's awesome, because then, that would encourage more people to fucking do their quote unquote DJ practicing, live. Not like me, because no one can still tell me what to practice, how to practice, what to practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've talked about this before. You have a saxophone, you have a trumpet, you have a flute, you got fucking drums, you got a tambourine. There's things you can do, exercises that you can do to warm up. You can play hot cross buns on whatever. You can type the boy jumped over the thing with the dog or whatever that uses every letter of the alphabet. Those are all things to practice and to warm up. what do you do? What do you practice to DJ when you've never DJ'd before? Nobody can be like, oh, well, you just got to work on your transitions. Okay, great. How the fuck do you transition? Like,
You just do.
that's what you just got to do it, man. Just keep practicing. Practice what? I don't understand. I hate it. I hate asking people for help anyway in life, and especially I know a few DJs, and I'm like, help me. Give me 2 songs that you play that you know mixed together. Give them to me and tell me to work on those. You know, like how this isn't fucking rocket science. Just give me 2 songs you know that work together. I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean,
You need some sort of starting. I mean, all music can be mixed together. Not all music, but there's a lot of music that can be mixed together.
yeah.
Genre to genre, jumping genres. But if you don't have the knowledge base, all that shit doesn't matter. Like, I'm at like square 1A and, you know, just looking for a helping hand.
I wish I could tell you. I mean, I don't know. I was like, maybe there's YouTube tutorials or something. Maybe
There's a lot of YouTube tutorials that are out there that are like, hey, go find these 2 tracks. And if I, you know, wanted to pay for the tracks, I could probably find them. Because, you know, you want to have the DJ version of them or the club version because they have longer intros and outros than the radio version that's, you know, 3 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long, whatever. Yeah, but if somebody could fucking give me a couple songs, I could figure it out. I could just give me something to work with.
You need to make friends with the musician somewhere.
Yeah, I just that or, you know, just be more persistent about, you know, when I talk to these people, like, give me your last set list so I can fucking, you know, look these songs up and then I can fucking practice it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know, like,
it's a tough one. That one's tough. That one's a tough one.
I mean, I did mix together Nicki Minaj and Fleetwood Mac together. It did work. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't really mix. I didn't really mix the fucking, you know, the actual like treble and the bass. I didn't mix that part very well, but like the tempo, the song, the beats per minute, it matches perfectly. Yeah. So if you're a DJ and you're out there, you know, give me a helping hand. It'd be much appreciated. So I got this really cool controller in my closet over here that's just fucking sitting over here, and I'd really like to use it. I just get frustrated when I have a limited amount of music available to me, and apparently none of it fucking works together. Or it does, and I'm an idiot and can't figure it out.
Maybe it's time to turn Points of Interest into a guest-based podcast. Then you just get guest DJs to come
right,
and then give you their tips and stuff.
That's how I get a bunch of fucking free tutelage. Is just by inviting DJs on here.
That's kind of like, I think that's kind of how it works, right?
I think so. Maybe
that's how you get your.
Maybe I should have been nicer and, you know, offered my hand in friendship to Steve Aoki, or if that was him or his look-alike.
It was yeah. It's hard to tell. I'm not gonna say it wasn't him.
That was so hard to tell. Like the whole time we were talking to him, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a fucking famous DJ.
I think it felt like yeah. Except for the fact that he talked about your kit, my
camera gear, yeah. But
It was just the clip. He was like really weird about the clip.
yeah, he was.
It's not your, leave it alone. It's not your clip. Leave it alone. It's fine. Don't worry about the clip.
Don't worry about it.
He was really obsessed with the clip.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was. The clip's great. 4 or 5 years later, still solid as hell.
Is next week the big week for you?
Next week, yes, next week, Francis, is the big week. FanEx Denver, quickly approaching. Nerves haven't hit yet because I haven't got my assignments yet. But I'm really
you
hoping
think you'd get it now? Because
I'm hoping they're going to show up so I can do some research before it happens. But yeah, I have a game plan for that as well. Actually, I'm gonna go in there and
reach out to them.
Francis. We were talking about earlier about whipping things out. I'm going there to whip it out. I'm gonna put myself out there and be like, you should hire me.
They did already.
No, permanently.
Oh. First, you need to get your assignment. First, you need to know.
First I need my assignments and not fail all weekend. But I'm stoked. I mean, we talked about it before, but to have a convention come to any of us for anything, it's pretty. It's special to us. Special to me, anyway.
It is.
And then for them to be like, hey, we want to pay you as well. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that especially. Yeah, when you're a paid employee of the thing that you're doing, like the thing that you love doing. Yeah, I mean, this is the beginning, man.
But it's
how
funny.
it starts.
It's funny because I was talking to my best friend, and who doesn't understand this whole podcast thing since I started doing it, or the getting press and media. He's every time I tell him about going someplace or going to San Diego as press, he's just like, the fuck does that mean? Why are you doing it? And you're not a journalist. What the fuck? And it's like, well, hey man, you convinced people you knew things about jewelry back in the day. Well, I am a fake journalist and it works. So, but when I told him these guys were, they offered a paying position, he was like, holy shit, dude, that's awesome.
Once you put money into it, it's all of a sudden legit. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, now you're getting paid for it, so now it's a real thing. Versus when you're doing it for free, like, oh,
right,
yeah. But
yeah,
now it has legitimacy.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Like, oh,
so
line my pockets with this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna line my pockets for the weekend.
Reach out to them.
But I'm going into it with the best intentions of not failing and just going to run with the excitement of it all. I think it's awesome. And what's cool, I have this written down, is that they're still announcing people. It's a week away, and today they announced Ali Larder is now showing up.
Maybe that's why you haven't gotten your list yet, because they're like, we don't know. I mean, new people are coming in. We really don't know what our
no celebrities. No celebrities. It's all comic book people. So writers, artists, colorists, that kind of thing. Probably artists and writers.
They put Brie Larson right in the front. Brie Larson's going to be here. Look at that.
Yeah, I think that was the big announcement for today. Zach Morris isn't coming, unfortunately, but Zach Morris was replaced by Christy Brinkley, or whatever her name is. I'm so scared. Don't take no dose.
Yeah.
Caffeine pills are a major.
He was there. Drug. He was there last week. And now he's. He was there. He was there last week, and now he's not there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. People have contractual obligations they got to meet, and sometimes going to a Comic-Con doesn't outweigh the contractual obligation. But Francis, I did inquire before you even asked. I inquired to my contact. I said, hey, contact, Will I be receiving a badge and name placard?
Oh.
And he replied back,
Eh.
yes, you will be receiving a programming badge. And I went, yes. I said, what about name placard? He goes, no name placards.
The badge is pretty good, though.
The badge is pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be moderator or programming, but it's going to be stacked on top of my media badge. And then I'm pretty sure Source Point is going to be there. And I'm sure Travis will be like, here, pass these out to your friends. Tell them to come work for me.
How do you not have a placard? I feel like that'd be like odd.
I don't know.
Just have.
Um,
Now, how are they gonna know who you are?
last year, the 2 panels that I hosted last year, they didn't have name placards for the artist guests of the panels. So
comic creators are there. So these are just comic creators.
I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of
You might-
comic creators, and there's of the list that the Contact published last week. I saw 5 names. 3 of them I knew. So
Well, you know Jai Lee because you did his.
I did. I hosted his panel last year.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I know him, but I'm familiar with his work now.
Maybe you'll get Jeff Johns. He's a big one.
I know that name. Dan
And
Parent.
everyone else never heard of before.
Dan Parent
Oh, he's
is on there.
Archie.
And I'm pretty sure Dan is local. Dan and I are friends on the Facebooks. We have been for a while now, so I'm guessing he's local.
No, you must have met him at Philly, maybe.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, wait, you're right, because never mind, you're right, he might be local.
Dan Connor is on the list. He's at the
I
bottom
know
of the
Dan
list.
Connor.
Yeah, you've met Dan.
Yeah.
Who else did I see on there that I was like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Frank Miller is not going anymore.
He's not.
That
Yeah,
would've been fun.
he had to cancel. He would have been a fun talk to, I bet. But either way, man, I go into this, with as much seriousness as I can. I take whatever job you give me and take it with seriousness. So I'm gonna, even if I don't know the people, I'm gonna do my research, get my 3x5 cards, write things down, and hope the audience takes over.
Well, that's up to you. You get to control that. So.
Yeah. Well, I get to say my standard thing that you all will get to ask the questions you want to ask. But right now, I have the microphone, so I get to ask what I want.
Oh, and you'll get a chuckle from the audience, and they'll be like, "Yeah,
Maybe.
the Hawk, Hawkins."
I am
Just someone
going
scream
to.
that out while you're there.
There will be a lot of shameless plugging all weekend for sure.
I have a question. I'll ask you afterwards.
Okay. Well, that afterwards is quickly approaching because I'm a sleepy boy.
Oh,
I had to work all day.
I know. I did too.
Yeah, and came home and ate something, and now we're here. So now I'm starting to get the itis from the food. I'm going to be at FanExpo Denver next weekend, but we will be back on Tuesday, our normal day that we do this. Well, it was normal up until this most recent job anyway. But I'm off at a decent hour, so we will be back on Tuesday for another round of fun, and hopefully some interesting things happened in between today and Tuesday.
Otherwise, you've got a free-for-all show. We'll talk about it.
Just like we do almost every week.
Not really.
I write things down. We don't hit everything that I write down sometimes because we just have fun talking about other things. True. But Francis, where can people find you on the internet if they wanted to do so?
I am at AKA the other guy on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitch, all of that stuff. I have just the same name everywhere. So go check me out on that. And tomorrow, oh no, it's not Tuesday, so not tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
But you could watch tomorrow. You could watch the recorded version of the thing that happened live.
Watch
this
the
past
recorded
Tuesday.
version. Probably one of the nerdiest episodes we've done with an author, Cecilia Copeland. She's like the nerdiest author we've ever had. She was like really like full on. We're surface level nerds on that show. She was a deep dive nerd, and it was so much fun. It's like she was in her element. So go check it out. A lot of fun.
It was.
And
It was a fun time for the bit I got to watch. But Francis, it's really easy to find you on the internet. What's not as easy is this podcast and all the things associated with it. Because
Change it.
synergy.
Just change it.
I know. I should just get it. I should just get around. But synergy wasn't a thing. I didn't know what it meant, I guess, when all this started. But it's all over the place. But here's the ones you need to follow: Twitter @POI Podcast, YouTube POI Podcast, call. No, let's do the email. Email at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. To find the audio, you might have to look up POI Podcast or the POI Podcast at your favorite RSS catcher. Is that still a thing? Does still people say that? I don't know. But you can call, text, voicemail. What?
You should make a link tree.
I should make do the thing that all the OnlyFans girls do. What's that thing? They have that's a link tree, I guess. But call, voicemail, text 314-764-7631. It'll be fun. Call into the show. We'll talk nonsense with you. We're out of here. Bye.